Hello everyone, this is Chris with Sticker Fab, and it is 69 degrees out here in North Fort Myers at our office. Today I wanted to go through a brief installation of our brand new topological upper door card insert for the 4-door Bronco. We've already done the front, and now we've got the rear. We'll be making our way to the back of the vehicle. We'll do more in the cargo area. We already have a main piece in the cargo area, but we'll also do some smaller pieces in and around there. You guys can decide how much you want on your vehicle. I just wanted to do another install for the top because this is a really tight area that we're installing this in. Ideally, you want to be in that 75 to 85 degree weather range. This vehicle has been shut and in the sun for a while, so it definitely feels pretty warm in there. The vinyl was in there too. I don't necessarily recommend storing your vinyl in there unless it is very cool, because the temperatures inside of a vehicle, as you know, when it's just sitting there, it's going to get pretty darn warm. You might not know exactly what temperature that gets up to, but you don't want that vinyl too soft, or it'll become really stretchy and then it won't fit in this place very well. I don't want to go into too much detail other than placement on this. On the product page, I will link to a more lengthy install of the front that I did that includes information on using a 3M promoter pen for any areas that don't stick down the way you want them to, especially if you're not installing this in ideal conditions. Ideally, you will wait for those ideal conditions to get the best results. Let me go get my mini tripod and we'll install that side over there. All right, so I'm pretty much sandwiched in this door because I'm trying to get the door closer to you guys so you can see everything. Let's note the tricky area. I've already cleaned this off and I use a detailing spray that doesn't have any wax. This has never had Armor All on it to my knowledge. Do realize that sometimes when your vehicles are given to you by your dealership, they've already detailed it and put something like an Armor All product on there, so you want to make sure this area is completely clean and free of that. Go through a normal clean routine and then you can use some isopropyl alcohol and clean the rest of it out. Notice this area is like really rough and porous, so you want to get really into all those grooves and clean them out. And then you want to let it dry. Make sure it's 100% completely dry. I've used isopropyl alcohol when it was really humid outside, and I was actually surprised how long it takes to dry. I thought it was dry to the touch, but it wasn't yet, and that was after about a minute. In the sun, isopropyl alcohol evaporates really quickly. Out of the sun and in humid environments, not so much. If you can, don't install this in super humid environments. The area we're going to focus on the most is right in here. You'll have this as a focal point on the front as well. One, it's a little bit trickier to align these rear pieces because we've only gone to here. We were able to print out our sets properly so that we could actually go up in here instead of going just straight back. However, it'll get really tight in this area. Once you've already got it installed, come back after a little bit and check this area and make sure it hasn't come up. If it's come up, you might need to clean your hands again, pull back the back of the vinyl, and then push it back down. Because as things settle, they may contract a little bit, and I'll try to show you that a little bit later. Now my hands are clean, I just washed them. Let's grab that vinyl. All of these installs of this special material that adheres to textured surfaces, those are dry installs. You don't want to put any liquid on those at all. Ooh, this is a little bit warm from that sun. Because the sun is so bright right now, I'm going to do this install in the shade, or else it would stretch a little bit. So let's try to get the trouble point down first. Like I said, this area gets really tight. We are tight up against this trim panel back here. In general, this rear end goes straight up and down along this trim. We'll use that as a little guide. Everyone's installation will be just a little bit different. So we've pushed this down and we've gone this way so that we don't put too much tension in there. I'm going to gently push it down a little bit more. Make sure we don't get too close to the top or too close to the bottom. I can already feel that it's starting to come up right there. So be very gentle. Don't push down. Don't stretch it to the front or the back, or it'll come up in that corner. But we do want to guide it. Guide it along the top. And it looks like we might be a little bit too far towards the back. Let's pull that up. Reset this. Let's just start at another place. We will get it down in that groove more this time. We are kind of slipping it back behind that upper pad. As long as it goes down, you're good. You can kind of almost lift up on these pads a little bit to get it behind them. All right, let's try that again. We're going to guide it along the top. Be careful when you're sliding your fingers over a long distance, because it can bunch up. You see this little crease right there? Gotta kind of massage that out. There we go. Oops. Again, be gentle. Now, if this does need more attention later, and you have one of those 3M6, I'll tell you, it's going to go right in here. That's where it's going to come up. But if I leave this out in the sun, which I am going to do, I might spin the vehicle around backwards so more sun gets on this, or I might just shut the doors and let it all heat up. But then I'll come back out and I'll make sure that this part is still down. And if it's not down, I'll gently peel this up with clean hands, push it down, and then push the rest of it back down again. Like I said, over time, it could shrink just a little bit. So we want to provide enough relief so that this can stick in that corner. Remember, this vinyl activates with heat and pressure. Not just one, not just pressure, not just heat, heat and pressure. And you'll build your full bond over this panel within the next 72 hours. So ideally, your temperatures won't dip that much, and you'll have a nice 75 to 85 degree environment for that whole 72 hours. And then you should be good to go, even if it gets a little bit cooler. All right, everyone, that's a final look at our install. I would have done covers for this like I did on the inside, where we do acrylic over it and then we do the sticker. However, this curves a little bit too much towards the back. We might be able to do acrylic on the front and leave a little slit right there. I'm also going to do probably this panel. Then I might come back to the front, do a panel right here, and then do the rear panel right there as well. We have so much we can do on the inside. Every little scrape that I see is probably an area that we can cover. There's some other areas that don't get scraped up really, but just gotta add that accent on there. It's all about customization. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon for the latest greatest things we're coming out with for the 2021 and up Ford Bronco, and visit our site at stickerfab.com.